Hey everyone, what's up? This is Cubs fan Han back again to do a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video, and of course, let me give a quick shout out to my friends over at gaming-fans.com. Go ahead and check them out. They're also on Twitter at gamingfansdfn, and today we are going to be talking about this gold rush that we are all on right now.
You see, Mr. Powers, I love gold. The look of it, the taste of it, the smell of it, the texture.
That is right. I love gold. Gear 12 is here, and we are all trying to get our characters to Gear 12, but a lot of you are asking, who should I take to Gear 12 first? It's quite a big investment. It's taking a long time to farm these characters, so in this video, I am going to be ranking for you the top 10 characters for you to take to Gear 12 right away. Now keep in mind, everyone on this list probably isn't going to be available for you to take to Gear 12, so I'm going to recommend you focus primarily on the characters that are going to be in your arena team. You want to have a full Gear 12 arena team naturally as soon as possible, but I am going to be ranking these characters based on A, how viable they are in the arena, and B, how strong of a bump they get statistically from Gear 11 to Gear 12. And I'm going to be focusing on a couple different stats in analyzing that particular bump. And thanks to my buddy Destructo11, I'm going to include a Reddit post that he made where he analyzed these stats and calculated some percentages into two basic figures, and I'm going to use those as part of my analysis. The first figure he put together is what he calls survivability, and this is a simple stat where he's going to combine health, protection, and armor. So that is called survivability generally, and he puts together a percentage on how much their survivability increases from Gear 11 to Gear 12. The second aspect of that is going to be what he calls just simply damage, or DMG. And the damage stat is going to basically take into account physical damage increase as well as the critical chance increase. So not just how hard are they able to hit, but how consistently are they going to be able to critical hit. And then he gave a range of stats for that one, ranging from if the character had 150% critical damage up to 212% critical damage. In this case, I am only going to be analyzing the one stat, assuming that they are at 150% critical damage. So the percentages that I'm giving for damage are going to be lowballed estimates. So if you have a lot of critical damage on these characters, then it's actually going to be a bit higher than the stats that I'm providing in this video. So to get this started off, let me give a couple quick honorable mentions. These are characters who are not in the top 10 in my opinion, but are definitely notable. Number one is going to be Palpatine, who gains plus 50.9% survivability. Now keep in mind that the average here was around 30%. So he is about 20% above the average in survivability, and one of the biggest complaints a lot of people have about Palpatine is that he is not very survivable. So that's really good to see. Boba Fett also got a 46.9% survivability boost and a 17.5% damage increase, as well as 13% potency, which isn't part of my normal calculation, but also notable. So Boba Fett is very good as well. So those are two to keep in mind. Now let's break down the top 10. Number 10 is Darth Maul. And Darth Maul got a 66.58% boost in survivability. That is sweet. That is a great boost for him, especially because Darth Maul is one of the more squishy characters out there. The biggest catch to that is going to be that Sith don't have a ton of viability right now, which is why I'm ranking him lower on the list. Number 9 is Anakin Skywalker, and Anakin Skywalker got a 33% survivability boost, which combines again the protection, health, and the armor, which is nice. That's kind of more average, but good for him because he's already a somewhat tanky character. But the reason why Anakin is jumping onto this list is because of his damage increase, which is at 22.1%. That is a sweet boost. Just his physical damage went from 2,327 base to 2,800 base. This is really good to see because Anakin is already a very powerful hitter. He's going to deal a lot of physical damage, and so Anakin Skywalker is going to hit a lot harder at Gear 12. Number 8 is Ezra Bridger, and Ezra gets a really nice boost in all aspects of the game. His survivability is getting boosted 52.43%. That is sweet. His protection is going up 33%, and his health went up 53%. So that is really awesome to see. And then as well, he gets a nice damage increase. And Ezra, like Anakin, is a very powerful hitter, and he's going to have that multi-attack chance. He's going to be able to call assists and guarantee crits. He is gaining 15.9% on that damage figure. That is a hefty amount of damage gain for an already heavy hitter. Number 7 is Barriss Offee, and I'm sure there's a lot of you out there who are stoked to see Barriss showing up on one of my lists. Every time I've released a list to date, there is always somebody who is in the comments saying, whoa, wait, Barriss is super awesome, her Zeta ability is legit, and I totally agree with you guys. It's awesome. A lot of the times I think she gets left off is because she hits like a wet noodle, and Gear 12 is not going to change that. She doesn't gain much on damage. However, she does gain a 36.2% survivability rating, and this is good to see because Barriss is already pretty tanky, and her Zeta ability is going to make your teams very difficult to beat in the Rebel meta. And then number 6 is Princess Leia, and Leia has become very viable in the arena with Commander Luke coming out, and she has one big weakness: survivability. And Leia gets an above average boost in survivability when she is taken to Gear 12, which is awesome to see. She gains, her survivability rating is going up 45.91%. That is sweet. Her protection is going up 19%, but her health goes up 74.54%, which is really, really good to see for Princess Leia. She's going to be harder to kill. Still, these percentages are based off of already low numbers, so they're not going to, she's still going to be a bit squishy in comparison to some of the better tanks out there, but I think it's going to balance out with how hard she hits and her ability to stealth, especially combine that with R2-D2, and you should be in the clear. She'll just be a bit harder to kill. Her damage goes up 10.4% on that rating, which is really good to see as well because she's already a heavy hitter. So nice, very impressive boost for somebody who is already really heavy. Alright, moving on to the top 5, and I am going to break down the top 5 in a little more detail than I did for numbers 6 through 10, and in particular I want to break down that gear that these characters receive past Gear 12. Now this is something that's really important to understand, is taking your characters to Gear 12 is great. I mean, it's awesome. They get these shiny gold rings around them. I mean, look at it. It is really shiny. It's awesome to see. But that said, there are 3 extra pieces of gear that you can give them past Gear 12, each of which are going to have significant boosts in stats, a lot of which are going to be boosting your physical damage, some health boosts that are really awesome, and etc. So you really don't want to discredit how important it is to put those extra pieces of gear on past Gear 12 once you get those shiny gold rings on those characters. Number 5 is R2-D2. Now, R2-D2 actually doesn't gain the best boost from Gear 12. His survivability rating is 35.1% boost when you take him to Gear 12. Only about 33% for both protection and health, and then a decent armor boost as well. Now, R2-D2 is already pretty tanky, so this is a nice boost, but it's not necessarily earth-shattering. His damage goes up 5.47%, which is also pretty low on the end, even below average. Not really that great of a damage boost. But the reason why I'm putting him so high on the list is because R2-D2 is going to be essential to almost every arena team in the current meta. There are people who are running without R2-D2, but for the most part, everybody's going to be using R2-D2, especially if you're using him with General Kenobi, with Commander Luke Skywalker. You especially want to pair her with Leia if you're running Leia. So R2-D2 definitely deserves a spot on the list because he does gain a nice bump from Gear 12. It's not earth-shattering, but he's still such an essential character. Now, some notable Gear 12 gear that he gets, that gear past Gear 12, he's going to get a Mark 12 Armatech wristband, which does give him plus 140 special damage, along with plus 70 special critical chance. His middle left gear is going to be Mark 12 Armatech Med Pack, which gives him 6,250 health. That is also really good to see. And then don't forget about the Mark 12 Armatech Multi-Tool, which gains a slew of stats. It's kind of like another number crunch almost. He gains plus 250 health, plus 40 strength and agility and tactics, plus 50 physical damage, plus 50 special damage, and then potency, tenacity, and health steal as well. So those are all very good pieces of gear that are going to be great to give R2-D2 once you already get him to gear 12. Number 4 is Raid Han. Raid Han gets an awesome boost when he goes to gear 12 in both aspects of the game. His survivability goes up 48.57%, and most of that bump comes from his health that gets 59% bump, but notably his protection gets a 41.52% bump, which is number 1 overall. He gets the best percentile bump in protection out of all characters when taken to gear 12. And of course, Raid Han, one of the biggest complaints all of you have about Raid Han is he's squishy. He dies quickly. So that is addressed to a point when you take him to gear 12. Don't forget about his damage though. His damage goes up 11.5%. That's over double what R2-D2 gets. That's a nice damage boost for a character that is already a very, very heavy hitter. So don't forget about Raid Han when you're taking characters to gear 12. He is very solid. He also gets great gear 12 gear. He gets that Mark 12 Armatech Bayonet, which gives him plus 120 physical damage. That's a nice boost in physical damage. He also gets plus 30 physical critical chance, and then plus 60 armor penetration. He also gets a Mark 12 Armatech Med Pack, which gives that 6,250 health. R2-D2 also had that. And then a Mark 12 Armatech Cybernetics, however you pronounce that, plus 70 physical damage. So when you give him that gear 12 gear, you're also going to be increasing his physical damage quite a bit. It's going to be going up overall plus 190 once you give him the Mark 12 Armatech Bayonet and the Mark 12 Armatech Cybernetics. So Raid Han coming in at number 4, very deserving of the spot. Number 3 is Fulcrum Ahsoka Tano. Her survivability goes up 43.7%. And Ahsoka Tano is really hard to kill because she heals herself over and over and over again. So it can be very difficult to kill her, and and her survivability is going to be going up quite a bit. That's a 49.47% boost in health, and then 33% on protection, which is kind of the average. So very good boost in survivability for Fulcrum. Her damage goes up 12.5%. Her damage is already super heavy, but she's going to be going up 12.5%, so she's going to be hitting very hard. Some notable gear 12 gear that Fulcrum is going to get is that Armatech Multi-Tool as well, which R2-D2 got, which had a bunch of stats that it gives her. So she's going to gain 50 physical damage, she's going to gain some health, she's going to gain some strength, agility, and tactics, some potency, some tenacity, and some health steal as well. She also gets that Mark 12 Armatech Med Pack, which a lot of people are getting, which gives a 6,250 boost in health, which for Fulcrum just really sucks to go against, that is. And then she gets that Mark 12 Armatech Bayonet, which also has that really nice hefty plus 120 boost in physical damage. So coming in at number 3, Fulcrum Ahsoka Tano. Number 2 is General Kenobi. Now General Kenobi, if you just look at percentages, he kind of gets an average boost in protection. He gets a 39.9% survivability increase. Protection is only a 33% increase. However, General Kenobi is one of the tankiest characters in the game, so that 33% protection increase is a lot. When I took my General Kenobi to Gear 12 with mods on him, he jumped 19,000 protection, all the way up to over 80,000 protection, and now I've even got a protection arrow on him, and he is sitting at over 90,000 protection. He became a very, very heavy tank. So General Kenobi is very worthwhile to take to Gear 12 just for the survivability aspect. His damage does not really gain him much, but you don't necessarily need that because General Kenobi is going to be calling his Mass Assist. He's going to have Retribution up, so he's going to help everyone else hit. So you don't necessarily need that damage to go up as much for General Kenobi, you just need him to be as tanky as possible. But his damage does go up 5.7%, that damage rating, so still a decent boost in damage. Some footage I'm showing you here is an arena battle. I just want to track how many hits General Kenobi takes. Some notable Gear 12 gear. He does get a Mark 12 Armortech armor plating, which gives him plus 1500 health, plus 110 strength, and plus 25 armor. That's probably the most notable Gear 12 gear he gets. The other gear pieces are nice, but not necessarily essential. So the boost from Gear 11 to Gear 12 for General Kenobi, almost without any Gear 12 gear, is almost worth it because he gets such a nice boost in protection if you consider how good his protection already is. If you take a look at this, he takes through this battle 13 hits. That is a lot. He dodges a few as well, and I'm not counting those in the tracker, but General Kenobi just sits there and takes it and takes it and takes it. That protection is so valuable. And then finally, coming in at number 1 is Commander Luke Skywalker. And of course, Commander Luke Skywalker is going to be the best character to take to Gear 12. Forget what his boosts are, he's the best character in the game. So of course you want him to be at Gear 12, but he's going to get even better at Gear 12. His survivability rating goes up 37.8%. He's already decently survivable. His health is going up 40%, all the way up to 25,000 base health, and his protection goes up 33.3%, which is kind of the mean. But if you put some good protection average or protection mods on him, and you got that call to action, he's going to be really tough to kill. I actually saved Commander Luke for last because whenever he does call to action, it ruins all of my progress, and I'm so worried about that. So Commander Luke, very survivable. His damage goes up 10.2%. That's a pretty dang decent boost in damage for a character that is already very, very heavy on the damage side of things. He hits very hard and is very tough to go against. So Commander Luke gets some very nice boosts from Gear 11 to Gear 12 statistically. Some notable Gear 12 gear that Commander Luke gets, he's going to get that Mark 12 Armortech Cybernetics, which gives him plus 70 physical damage and plus 60 critical chance. He also gets that Mark 12 Armortech Multi-Tool, which gives him a slew of stats, that plus 250 health, plus 40 agility, strength, and tactics, plus 50 physical damage, plus 50 special damage, and then of course plus 10% potency, tenacity, and plus 5% health still. And then to round it out, he also gets the Armortech Med Pack, which gives him plus 6,250 health. So he gets some great gear at Gear 12, and he is overall the best character in the game, so of course you are going to want to take him to Gear 12 if you've got him. So coming in at number 1, Commander Luke Skywalker. So what did you guys think about my list? Who did you take to Gear 12 first? Who are you taking to Gear 12 next? Is Gear 12 giving you issues in the arena? I know it has been giving me issues. I'm facing a lot of full Gear 12 teams. I have 3 characters at Gear 12 right now: Commander Luke, General Kenobi, and R2-D2, and I am going for my Raid Han next. But whatever the case is, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't ever forget.
For my dead body. Sorry about the mess.